Well, Burke's trial is just one of many political stories unfolding this week, and joining us a day early for a look back at the major political headlines this week is the host of the WGN Political Report, Paul Lisnek. So let us start.
So much to do it. Why wait till Friday?
Yeah, right. Let's get right to it. Yeah. Let's start with the case against the president's son here. This is a criminal indictment against Hunter Biden that started out as a misdemeanor, now felony charges. This case really spiraled.
Yeah, this was minutes away from being done back when there was a plea deal. Remember, the judge said, "Do you understand, Mr. Biden, what this says?" And he really didn't, and then it all fell apart. So tonight, this is literally breaking news as we're talking this evening. 9-count indictment, 3 felonies, 6 misdemeanors, but it's all tied to tax evasion. So before, he was going to plead to he didn't pay his taxes, but then he fixed it. Now, the government has taken a step beyond that in really talking about mindset, intent. He intended not to pay. That will have more serious consequences to it. Tomorrow, by the way, I anticipate there could be some Republicans in Congress who will somehow bring Joe Biden into this. So I think it's our responsibility to say this 56 or so page indictment has nothing to do with Joe Biden. None of this has anything to do with Biden. Hunter Biden, for what he's done, would pay a price. It's also an interesting parallel to what Donald Trump is going through, because both of them have these issues for how much tax did you pay? Did you cheat the government? They're both but Trump dealing with it in a civil arena, Biden now in a criminal arena.
Interesting parallel.
Let's talk about a fiasco that's been going on this week in the city of Chicago. The Brighton Park encampment for migrants. Supposed to go up, now it's not. Contamination in the groundwork and things like that. Construction had started, now they're pulling it apart. Where do we stand now? Who's paying for this? Okay, go ahead.
No, that's a good question. Well, the who's paying for it? Look, there's state involvement here, there's city involvement here, there's federal monies that Pritzker's putting in, so I don't know exactly which budget line this is falling under. But clearly, Micah, you're right, this is chaos, and because, look, something went seriously wrong. So whose fault is it? Nobody's, right? It's everybody pointing at everybody else. But one thing seems to be clear. Some aldermen have said, look, you've got about 7 department heads here who have been involved in this. Heads need to roll. They need to go. And so I imagine that Mayor Johnson, will at some point take some action against people who were responsible for making this thing happen. A lot of focus is put now on the relationship between the governor and the mayor. Yeah. Both of them saying, or at least Pritzker being very out there a lot, saying, look, we get along just fine. We both have the same goals and interests. They may very well differ about what to do, but they do have the same goals of interests.
But who would think about putting an encampment in an area that has all sorts of contaminants in the
Well, apparently they didn't think it did, right? I mean, of course, nobody would. Right. Nobody should. And apparently they started building it because I don't think they had this information. And then the state orders this investigation. It all gets found out, and then what are you going to do? You have to stop. Thank goodness at least they stopped the construction and put an end to it. You know how sometimes you do something, you find out years later that it was contaminated. Can you imagine the
lawsuits that would have come out of that?
Yeah. Yes, I can.
You see those lawyer commercials, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk now about the Burke trial. We alluded to it a little bit earlier. Next week, the defense is going to start to make its case, and we expect to hear from Danny Solis, who wore a wire for the government. What will you be anticipating?
Yeah, prosecution could have called them. They chose not to. The defense says they will. We'll see whether they do. What's really been interesting about this is, and of course, our Mike Lowe is in the courtroom every day, so he informs me of what's happening. And it's interesting because every time the prosecution has gotten a witness to say, one of their witnesses to say, yes, I took that as not a threat, but as an ultimatum, and I have to do it, a shakedown, those kinds of things. And then the defense almost every time goes on, did you give him the work? No. Did you get your sign? Yes.
Do you need that quid pro quo?
Well, and in the end, it's like there hasn't been much there. Now, there may be the best maybe yet to come here with what the prosecution is doing in their final days of presenting their case. But right now, it seems that the defense has done a decent job of diffusing things. Now, remember, if I try and steal your wallet and there's no money in it, it doesn't mean I'm not guilty of robbery just because you don't have any money in it. So somewhere here is a parallel in terms of, well, just because he didn't get the business doesn't mean he didn't try the shakedown. That will be the discussion that they have. But it'll be interesting to see what we get from the defense if they get character witnesses and other people who say, yeah, he asked me for work, but I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't give it to him and I got what I needed and everything was fine. We'll see what the defense presents as it gets closer.
And quickly, the Texas abortion case going on. It just happened earlier today. A woman from Texas is getting her abortion, and they don't allow abortion past 6 weeks. She's 20 weeks pregnant.
Exactly. She stepped in and a court essentially granted her a TRO, a restraining order on those new laws, entitling her to get an abortion. Look, it became very clear from medical evidence that either she might die if she didn't have it, or clearly the baby is not going to live. That they knew. What I find interesting about that, because I think regardless of people's views on it, you look and say she's probably entitled to some kind of help here. But now Attorney General of Texas, Ken Paxton, has said in recent hours tonight, Be careful, doctors and hospitals. I will come after you with felonies.
What's coming up on your show?
This weekend, we're going to be talking to Congressman Adam Kinzinger. He's going to talk about his new book and some views of how things are looking in Washington, even though he's left it. And then there's a new book coming out. It's going to be out next month about the modern mayors. And so I'm going to be joined by former Alderman Dick Simpson and his co-editor Betty O'Shaughnessy, and also the writer Monroe Anderson, who I think you probably know.
Yeah,
he
know
wrote a
very
chapter
well.
on Eugene Sawyer, and we're going to talk to him. But it's
Former
about
mayor.
Exactly. We're going to talk about all the former
Rod
mayors.
Sawyer's father was an alderman.
Exactly. So there's lots to talk about. It's
Lots
going to be
to
a
talk
really
about.
interesting Sunday
morning.
show at 9 o'clock.
Thank you, sir.
You'll be watching.